Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, we are working on my 2001 Honda CRV. I just got done replacing the hub and bearing in the spindle here, and I thought I'd take you through some of the trials and tribulations in doing that. Welcome to Man Time. Okay, so the deal is I've been battling some front end wobbling for quite a while. When I first got the car, matter of fact, as I was coming up to stop at a stop sign or stop light, the car would it was kind of bouncing, but also kind of jerking as I got closer to the stop sign, specifically with this front passenger side. So first started off with a new set of tires. New set of tires solved, I don't know, maybe 80% of the problem. So I figured, no big deal. Next upgrade was new suspension. I ended up going with a brand called maybe FSC or FCS, something like that, on carparts.com. So I got new loaded front struts and put those on here, but it was still having some issues, and so I ended up replacing the front drive shafts on either side as well, and then it continued to have, again, less and less of kind of a problem, but what I did find was when I wiggled the assembly here, it still had some wobble and some wiggle to it. Now I've just got everything kind of mocked up and snugged into place right now, so it isn't fully locked down yet. But I ended up going with new lower ball joints. The upper ball joints are not replaceable in as far as just buying the ball joint, I don't think. It may be, but the upper control arm here is very cheap. You can get a whole new control arm for just about the price of the ball joint, and it's very easy to replace those. And so mine actually went out. It is right here. It was squeaking very badly. The rubber inside of here is not supposed to be broken where this can twist. So it was twisting and making a really bad squeaking sound. Plus, as you can see, the ball joint was, the rubber has completely degraded. But the ball joint was actually good. So I just replaced that. And I finally figured out the actual, I think, root cause of most of my problems was the bearing. Finally, after replacing everything to include the steering rack, which is a absolute nightmare. If you're going to replace the steering rack, be prepared for a long, hard battle. I ended up having to, since this is an all-wheel drive model, actually disassemble the transfer case off of the transmission to be able to get the old one out of there and get the new one in there. Very, very difficult. But yeah, got new end links on either side because I noticed it had some side-to-side play, and that was coming primarily from here. But after replacing all of that stuff, the bearing showed its face where I could move it quite a bit. And even now, it seems to be moving quite a bit, which is a little disheartening. Just getting the new bearings in there, and it's already got some movement in it. But yeah, it had more movement. So I just don't know. All of the new parts are, of course, made in China. So, a lot of the stuff you can't get from Honda anymore on this model. It's discontinued after discontinued. So you're left with the aftermarket. I did go to O'Reilly and get their Mastercraft brand of hub and bearing. So, I mean, it's lifetime warranty. we'll see how long that holds up. But the reason I wanted to make this video was there is a specific sequence to get all of this stuff apart. Of course, you know, you have to knock all of your ball joints out of that tapered fit to get the spindle out of there. Once you do that, you have to rig up a way to hold this thing up in a press and press out the hub down out from the inside. So I had to have a bunch of metal blocks blocking up this side and sitting right up here against this ear, and then a bunch more blocks sitting right up against these ears here that are holding the brake caliper in, and then press down and get the hub out of there. Once the hub is out of there, then there is a locking ring right inside of here. You take that locking ring off, and then you can press the bearing out. So it has got a new set of bearings, a new hub. It's got all new ball joints to include a full new upper arm and a new steering rack, because there was play in the steering rack, and I don't know if that was, you know, it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. You know, was the bearing failing or were the ball joints failing and one caused the other, you know? And I just don't know at this point. But at this point, I do know everything is everything is replaced. So yeah, that's going to be the next step is just buttoning everything up here. I still need to take it to get it aligned, although I did have it pretty close. I ended up measuring, you know, where these rod ends sat on the stems coming out of the rack, and yeah, got it all back together. It does drive. That was kind of the issue, right? It was actually driving fine. During driving, there wasn't any sort of obvious noise or heat, or, you know, weirdness during braking. I did put new brakes on it, of course. But yeah, so far, very happy with the 2001 CRV, but this has been a plague of my existence, trying to get this thing to be a good, reliable daily, which it has been, but, you know, with squeaking and wobbling and hopping, one thing after another, you know. So there you go. That's the sequence. To get your new bearing and hub back in, you'll just have to go in reverse order, pressing in first the bearing. One thing that I did notice was that if you try to press the hub in to the bearings, it's got a split race in the inside of it. You're going to need to be pressing with something underneath that inside race as you're pressing the hub in there to keep that bearing together. But yeah, did all that. It is all back together with all the snap rings and lock rings and everything else. New well, I can't turn the thing right now, but new ball joints all the way around. Everything is 100% at this point, or it should be. I don't know what else would possibly be left, you know. So there you go. If you're working on your Honda, keep at it. I think it is worth it, you know, for the engine, and if you can work out all these problems, it will actually become a reliable vehicle. So there you go. That's going to do it for today on Man Time. If you like this type of stuff, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and get out there, have you some man time too.